What's up, guys? So today I'm going to basically be showing you the transition I was making with the Conan. And I originally had planned for the Itachi Conan team, but I didn't get lucky. So I couldn't get him basically. And now I had to pretty much adjust and figure out who to put with him. So the idea was so you could pretty much put any Akatsuki member. That's the best way considering she would give him a shield and she would also get the buff. So, it had to be an Akatsuki member to replace the Itachi I was originally going to use. And I ended up using Toby because everyone says he is overpowered, and I use him in my rank battle as just like a filler for damage and all that stuff. So Toby's a really good idea, and I had to get everyone's moods up because I was finally replacing Hashirama and Iruka for my main team. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for the moods as well, get everybody maxed out because moods are a huge boost to power, especially 65% one stat. And the problem with this team was everyone was basically based on ninjutsu, so it's all like a nuking squad, and it really has no defense. And that was pretty much the big problem with me staying a fire main, is that when I tried this team out, and it was just not. It was like it was working, but to the point where I could just, I could pretty much get out tanked and destroyed. So, having four potential ninjutsu users on one team is a very bad idea. So that's why I'm glad I switched from a fire main, but it was some serious damage with this team. When I had a fire main, it was insane damage. I just really couldn't believe it. But then, I was just like, when I was fighting Pride and everybody else in Survival Trial, I noticed it's just like, it's just way too much damage, but there's no defense. And it was just really lacking. After a while, all the damage in the world wouldn't just do it, so I needed to actually stay alive. And I just ended up pretty much checking out if everybody was maxed out, and then it was basically decided, okay, I should just go upgrade all the moods. And then I finally decided to actually use the sorcery that I pulled a few days ago. It actually did not occur to me that what is it called? He also hits everybody in ranked battle. So I decided to replace Great Ninja War Conqueror in ranked battle for that sorcery. And honestly, it was a huge improvement. So I have Tendo Pain that hits everybody, and then I have this sorcery, and this sorcery is really nice, honestly. He causes paralysis as well as hitting everybody, so that's really good to use him for rank battle. Outside of it, he is pretty cool. So it's kind of nice that I ended up pulling him because I had no idea he hit everybody. That's the thing. I was just like, when I heard about that, I was just surprised. So finally decided to swap him in, and it's cool because that's another Akatsuki member that can get the shield. But the problem is that I already have the pains. So Conan will only shield up to 6 Akatsuki members at a time, or at the start of the battle. And I already have the pains, and I have this team. So I'm pretty sure they are the ones that will be getting it. And from now on, I just spend my stamina on trying to get Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai 4-star, just so it can make strong approach a lot easier, I guess. But I'm really not so sure about this whole Earth main stuff because it is, it's very interesting. It's very new to me, so I don't know if I'll still be swapping over to Fire Main for strong approach and swapping over to a Fire Main just to do Ninetales, because you'll see later in the video, it just does not really work out with the team I kept. And there's just a huge problem with it, so I'll pretty much go back to it later. But I was just trying out this team. I didn't show any gameplay of the Fire Main with the Conan team because it's just honestly, it's gonna be the same thing with the Earth, except you actually see my ninja stay alive because my Tendo Pain would get dropped. It was just kind of crazy to see how low the defense was on the team, but that was expected from pretty much all the ninjas I was using. So it's a good thing I went Earth main, and then I was also raising my battle power, pretty much trying to get to 25k as fast as I can. And now it just, the higher you go, the slower it feels, or just the more expensive it feels. So it's really limited on what I can do. I think I still have to go on refines as well. And I couldn't really max his cultivate, so I had to try and balance it out. That's why if you don't have all the cultivates to max them out all at once, just try to get everything by 10s. That's what I do. And finally had the Toby team complete. And it was just wow. So I did end up switching the rank battle a little bit. Since Toby was in my main team, I had to basically substitute Zabuza back in. And then I had to basically go ahead and, replace Great Ninja War Conqueror with Sorcery. So I'll pretty much just show you guys the first fight I did with the fire main. So this is pretty much the only time you're gonna see the team with the fire main, and it is just immense damage. You know, it would have worked out well if there was such a huge gap as far as battle power on my server probably. But you know, when it came to like ninja exam and other things, it was just not working out. So I needed basically to become the earth main, which you guys will see in the next fight. And it is just, you know, it's pretty good. I do enjoy the earth main. The only thing that it really has is the shield though, honestly, and that's pretty much the only thing I wanted. The fire main has a sleep, and it has a mystery that goes off 2 rounds, so as well as a clone. But the earth main has some pretty strong shields, and I was even surprised to see when it had an undying. None of the earth mains on my servers ever used undying. They always use the one that pretty much gives you extra resistance and immune to combos and everything. So when I actually seen the undying, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try for that. And you know, it felt good with this team, especially when I kept seeing sorcery in action. It was nice because his basic attacks, as long as he has the puppet out, will keep poisoning, and then you pretty much have his mystery that's gonna hit everybody and paralyze them. So it felt good. It felt like a better improvement. You know, the more people that hit all in the ranked battle, the better you're gonna have. And I was actually liking the changes with the team, but for some reason I still get my third team and my pain team, you know, pretty much nuked. And the reason behind that is because you know, they're pretty much a lot less in battle power than my team. They're still a few levels behind. They're still also awakening behind. And I think they also have like maybe cultivates as well as moods. I didn't do any moods on them. The only other people that have moods is Iruka and Hashirama, but I'm not using them for rank battle. So pretty much those are the only characters that actually have moods outside my main team. And you know, I do plan on going back to Hashirama and Iruka later on in the future probably. I really don't think this team is going to last me for way too long. And I pretty much never used my second chance to change mains at level 66. And it was going to be between pretty much being a lightning main to an earth main. Although I just really had no reason to go a lightning main. I already knew that pretty much the fire main was all I needed if I was going for damage. But the funny thing is that every time, so far, I swapped the main twice and it had the same effect both times. So it's, you know, kind of just funny the way it works. I don't know if it's like destiny or something, but it's really messed up for me. And the only time I noticed that the community events actually come back on the client is when you change the main. That's like one thing I just noticed. When I changed main for the second time, it's just don't. But the earth main has some really nice talents. So, you know, the regular attack will put up 2 shields. The mystery that I chose hits like everybody and knocks down, so it starts a combo. Then I put Poise of Duel so it could get like more ninjutsu damage and everything. And then I basically stepped over my Ninetail talents. And you know, when I did Ninetails, I was really disappointed. So I'm pretty sure I chose the right talents for Ninetail. I'm pretty sure that the Fire Main would still do way more damage than the Earth Main with the build I did. But I didn't expect it to be such a huge difference. Like, it was really a big difference. And I had to swap the mood because, you know, he's not ninjutsu based at all. So I decided to go for resistance, and you know, it would just really help out with the pretty much the shields that he was gonna put out. Now I was just like, it would be nice to reroll the meatballs into like minus ninjutsu plus resistance, but you know, it's gonna be too many wasted coupons and ingots on that. So I'll just, you know, wait in the future when I get some free meatballs. And I had to mess around with the equipment. I had to keep swapping it around. Because basically, since the Earth Main doesn't use any ninjutsu, everything that's ninjutsu is pretty much useless to him. So I had to do some major swapping around. Even after swapping around, I still managed to lose some PP. So, you know, it's always nice. I had to also give the main more resistance. This way his shields would actually be stronger. And, you know, just it was pretty much going for, like, making him a tank in my formation itself. Because it wasn't that strong defensively. And I was actually looking at the battle armor, and wow, like the last tier stuff looks so cool. Like I didn't even know you get to have like the samurai outfit. I saw it as a pretty much, I thought it was like a costume in China, but when they actually have that, I was like, wow. So that samurai armor is pretty cool. A majority of my server, all the top players are pretty much Earth Mains now, and you know, there's just nothing you can really do about it. So I think Earth Mains are just, you know, insane for endgame, really though. They make a, you know, in Sage World Battlefield, they are the difference between like a 10-round fight to like a 3-round fight. So It's really annoying to come up against Earthmains that are also strong, because it's pretty much like a never-ending battle between shields. My Earthmain, though, he's not as tanky as he should be. I have fought like other Earthmains that have way stronger main, but it probably has to do with, you know, me using unyielding instead of that resistance to combo. I'll probably definitely survive way longer if I wasn't able to be comboed, but the only drawback is that if I put that skill up, would they still target the Earthmain? Because he's the one that takes most of the hits for the team, which is good. I'd rather sacrifice my main than sacrifice anybody else in my team. But if I was to switch that talent on, would pretty much, you know, Tendo Pain or someone else be priority for the combos? I really just don't want to try it out. So I'll just stick with unyielding. It's pretty good anyway, you know, get 2 chances and just gives a lot of shields off anyway. So it's pretty hard to kill the main, even with unyielding. And if you do kill it, he comes back to life with 50% health. And now I was pretty much raising my battle power, trying to see what I could do. So using all the Magatamas I had from the last video with the boxes, I decided to go ahead and upgrade everything a little bit. And then I was like, okay, I need to do some refines. I need to do some battle power or some battle armor. And the refines were starting to get expensive. Plus, I was getting pretty unlucky. I had to use a lot of, you know, medium level refine scrolls just to actually get a level for some of them. So after a few refines I did, I just stopped. You know, and at least I fixed the battle power, because once I swapped to the Earthmain, I lost battle power again, and that was pretty much because of the mood and some of the equipment that he was focusing on, so I had to swap that. And, you know, it's just pretty much half the time I was just messing around with it, because it's a huge difference. It's not like when I went from Fire Main to Water Main, where I could pretty much keep ninjutsu and not have to worry about anything. When you go into Earth Main, you have to swap, like, just about everything. So that was just a huge, you know, change for me. And it pretty much can cost you about 10,000 ingots just to go to the 4th battle armor. Like, wow. I would like to do it, but considering the stat boost you get for 10k ingots, you're pretty much better off doing like 10k ingots worth of refines or even Magatamas, or just anything else really. Like, you barely get any stat boost for spending that many, so it's pretty much tough. Here I was maxing out the mood, getting everybody at 65%, and moods are a huge difference. I mean, 65% extra in a stack compared to 45%. That actually is going to make a huge impact. And then I was basically spending the rest of the ingots on the refines, like I said, and I had some pieces of equipment that actually had a few, I would say, like levels in, experience in, whatever it is. So I decided to try to get those pretty much to the next level. Refines are pretty good for battle power, but they just felt extremely expensive. So, you know, you're pretty much spending like 500 and it can't even give you an upgrade. So it's pretty much like 1,000 ingots per refine. That's pretty much the thing for everything now. When I'm trying to raise my battle power, it's like 1,000 ingots for a few Magatamas, 1,000 ingots for a few, or like for 1 or 2 refines. And then it's like, oh, battle armor, it costs 10,000. So it's getting really expensive to raise battle power now. Even though I do want to get my battle power higher than do summons, it's just, you know, something that I have to do eventually. The biggest problem is that everybody wants me to do pulls. Now you have to realize that I'm not going to be doing pulls every day. Like, you're going to have to be giving me the seal scrolls to do pulls every day. I'm not going to be doing that every day. There's just really no point. Like, I could keep summoning and stay at the weakest battle power forever. If I kept doing summons without raising my battle power at all, I would have probably been like 18k power by now. So it's a huge difference to actually go towards power, but it's actually going to benefit you more. And since I got this team, it makes me realize that there's really no point to do summons for at least the 70s. If we ever get the Kage treasures, then that's pretty much the only time I'll actually think of changing my team. From the Sage treasures itself, all I really want is a Sage Naruto and an Owl. There's nobody else that I can think of. Like, the Orochimaru, he is nice to mess around with, I guess. But then again, like, he's not really something that would actually prove useful to me. Or at least I don't think so. I wouldn't see myself, you know, using Orochimaru. So it's like, you know, something for fun, I guess. And then the Sasori 100 Puppets, you know, another fun thing to mess around with. But he's a super rare. So I did 400 for Hashirama, 400 for Tendo. Then I'm going to have to do another 400 for Sasori. So the only people that I really want is the Sage Naruto, because he is used everywhere. He is like overpowered, super high damage, and he makes like that 5k HP clone every round. So he is really strong. And then you also have Ao, who makes clones and puts shields up. So, and I think he also silences or something. And you know, he is very strong. Those two are very strong. Those two are the only ones I want. And these events are good for Seal Scroll summons, honestly, because you spend 200 and you get like 34 Seal Scrolls back. So it does end up saving you in the long run. I really don't know what will happen. It's taking an extremely long time to hit 70. And the reason being is we can't kill Ninetales. We killed it one time. And every day is the same story. Not enough people show up, we get close. And it gets worse when they don't stay fire main. It really does. It's just... So here was Ninetales and pretty much the ending of it. So I used the same team with the talents that you've seen earlier. And the reason behind this thing not doing way more damage, everyone said Earthmain will do twice as much damage or way more damage than the Fire Main. You guys were completely lying, because the reason why the Fire Main does so much damage in this formation is because on a field spell, he gets a 70% ninjutsu boost from Hashirama himself. Then you have Iruka and Asuma boosting his attack and ninjutsu as well. So that is a huge amount of ninjutsu. Plus the Fire Main was the reason why this formation was working in the first place. He does his mystery twice in 2 rounds. So that alone is probably like another 80,000 damage by himself or something. So I was really lacking the damage. I even had to retreat right after the Tail Beast Bomb because I was just getting killed. But overall, I was doing less damage. I did 12.4 million damage compared to me doing like 14.9 million damage. So I did almost 2.5 million damage less. And that's pretty much the reason why we didn't kill the Kurama. If I was Fire Main, we probably would have been really close to killing it. Probably would have killed it, but the fact that I have to pretty much, you know, stay as an Earth Main to do Ninetales, I have to either change my formation. I have no idea. Even Aristius, you know, he gave me the formation. He switched over to Earth Main, and he says that it does slightly less damage than when you know, he uses the formation. But for me, it was a huge difference. Almost 3 million damage is not a slightly difference. Like I could have taken, you know, if I still did at least 14 mil. But the fact that I was still stuck in 12 mil is just, nah, this formation is not working for me. So I'm going to have to change my stuff. I'm going to have to pretty much go ahead and either use more Taijutsu based characters or just do something else completely. So guys, I'm going to pretty much end the commentary here, and you know, the remaining of the video is going to be some ranked battle fights. And I'll just put music over it because, you know, there's no point to commentate over the battles. You guys should see and enjoy it and see if this team actually looks better. See if it does better with, you know, Sasori and everybody else. Tomorrow I'll be going back to doing those standard, you know, daily videos of pretty much daily missions and everything that you have to do each day, and do some commentary. I also plan on doing like a stream maybe Sundays of just, you know, doing daily stuff and at the same time doing all the events. So it'll be kind of like a late night stream from sometime around 6 to I guess like 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably try to do it on Sunday, but you know, I'll see you guys tomorrow.